Back to the channel. We're gonna be doing something a little new here on the channel. We're gonna do weekly predictions. So it's week 6. We're a little late to the party. It's been already 5 weeks, but it's better late than never. We're gonna start doing these predictions. We're gonna try to predict what teams are gonna win, what teams are gonna lose, what teams are gonna look like, what the powerhouses are gonna be like, and then the following week we're gonna tally up our wins, tally up our losses, and by the end of the season, I hope to be positive. I hope to be uh, in a good spot with these predictions. So without further ado, we're just gonna jump right into it. Thursday night game, Broncos Chiefs. Uh, Broncos just don't look good. I heard they're putting people on the trade block. Pat Surtain, Garrett Bowles, people like that. So they might be hitting a little rebuild right now. I don't know if Russell Wilson is still going to be on the table to be tradable, but putting people on the trade block, it's not looking too good. I think they're what's the record? They're 1-4, so it's really not looking too well. I'm taking the Chiefs here. The Chiefs are a little beat up. Travis Kelsey, high ankle sprain. I know he came back into the game, got an MRI, and they were negative. He came back into the game, scored a touchdown against the Vikings. But, you know, he kind of rolling off adrenaline, probably took a few shots or whatever, took some medicine to make that feel better. I don't know if he's going to play. I haven't seen the injury report for that game. But even if he doesn't, I still think I'm taking the Chiefs. The defense looks pretty solid. And I just don't think the Broncos are in a good spot right now. I'm taking the Chiefs Thursday night. That's tomorrow. So yeah, tomorrow Thursday night. I'm taking the Chiefs. London game, Tennessee and the Ravens. The Ravens lost to the Steelers last week, on a walk-off touchdown, George Pickens. Tennessee Ravens. This is like a rivalry that was a thing back 2 years ago, 3 years ago. So this game might be a little fun to watch. I know Tennessee's not really that good right now at this point of the season. Struggling. Offense is not that good, but I don't know. This should be a really good game. This is really a toss-up in my head, but I'm still gonna go the Ravens. I think they have a bounce-back week against that poor performance against the Steelers, and I think they come back and win this one in London. Colts Jags. Anthony Richardson's out. He has an AC joint sprain. Jonathan Taylor just came back. Limited carries last week, but I think he's going to really get the ball a lot. Gardner Minshew is going to start. He looked viable. He looked okay when they played the Ravens. I think they ended up losing that game or winning that game. I can't remember. But anyways, he kept them in the game and competed. They're going to compete against the Jags, but I think the Jags are just a little bit too good at this point. Too much talent. Without Anthony Richardson, I think they're really going to benefit. The Jags will against the Colts here. So I'm taking the Jags. I was wrong last week. I said the Raiders were going to lose to Green Bay. Aaron Jones was out, obviously, a big piece of their offense. But, the Raiders just did what they had to do. They did enough just to win the game. Defense played really well. Offense stunk it up. Didn't really look that good. Jimmy G didn't look good. Devontae only 4 catches. Couldn't capitalize on the turnovers. I think the Raiders had 3 interceptions. 2 Robert Spillane and then 1 Amik Robertson. Didn't really capitalize on those turnovers. Only won by 1 point, I think. So, not very good. I think these are the 2 only teams that haven't scored over 20 points this year. So we'll see what this is looking like. The games in Vegas last year, crazy game last year against the Patriots and the Raiders. Chandler Jones with that interception, walk-off touchdown, pick 6. Obviously not with the team no more. But I don't know. I think I take the Raiders here. I think I take them. Patriots are gonna battle. I think they're gonna battle, but I think Jimmy G's gonna do enough just to win the game. He's gonna do enough. Devontae's gonna get involved. Belichick's going to do his best to try to take him out of the game. But I think the Raiders just have too many offensive weapons. Defense is starting to get rolling, I think. And, you know, Patriots offense has really struggled. The defense has really struggled because of the offense has put them in bad situations with turnovers and just not being able to score the ball. So I think the Raiders win this one here. And I know it says 2-3, but they're already 2-3. So I think they'd be going to 3-3. Panthers, Dolphins. I just don't see any universe where I can take the Panthers here. This might be a trap game, but they're at home. The Dolphins are clicking and they're playing well. They're playing very good football. I know Devon Chain's not going to be playing, but they still got Raheem Mostert, Jeff Wilson, those guys, Tyreek Hill, all those kind of guys. So I think they just have too many weapons. I don't really see them losing this game. It's like a 90-10 in my eyes. I don't see them losing this game. I don't think this is going to be a trap game. I think they're going to take care of business at home and continue to 5-1. Seahawks, Bengals. Now, Bengals really put the hurting on the Cardinals last week. Jamar Chase got going. Joe Burrow looked like himself. Playing a very tough opponent, very different situation. I know the Cardinals started off very well, but I think they're going to be slowing down here pretty soon and, getting to that brand of football that we thought they were going to play from the beginning of the year. I know they shocked a lot of people beating the Cowboys and just competing in their games. But very different situation with the Seahawks. Talented roster from top to bottom. Great offensive weapons, great defensive weapons as well. But I think I'm going to take the Bengals here. I think the Bengals are going to get rolling. They're going to really start making some noise. They're going to get back to form. Joe Burrow's got his confidence back. Jamar Chase, is going to start get rolling here. He had no touchdowns the first 4 weeks of the year, and then last week he had 3 on almost 200 yards. So I think they're going to get going, and I think they're going to take care of business at home. So far I have 5 home teams winning, only 1 of the away teams, and that really doesn't count because this one's in London. So I pretty much have all 4 home teams winning the games. Not intentionally, not on purpose, but that's just how I have it. That's how the schedule is unfolding. And now the 49ers look really dangerous. They're my pick to win the Super Bowl this year. From top to bottom, the roster is the most talented roster in the league, I think. Eagles are up there, but I think they're just way better. Coaching, experience, everything. You go pound for pound with the Eagles roster, with the 49ers, I think they match up very well. I think the 49ers are better than them. Brock Purdy's playing out of his mind. Ayuk's playing good ball. Debo, Christian McCaffrey's playing crazy ball. I think he has 14 touchdowns in his last 14 games or something. Or he has a touchdown in his last 14 games, including the playoffs, which is ridiculous. That's like second most of all time or something like that. So crazy numbers that they're putting up right now. Offensively, they look the best they've ever looked in the last 3-4 years. They're really becoming an offensive juggernaut. They're known for their defense, but the offense is really coming around strong, and one of the best offenses in the league, along with one of the best defenses in the league, if not the best. So a very scary team. The Browns have a really talented roster as well. They have really good weapons. Deshaun Watson, guys like that. I know Nick Chubb's hurt, out for the season. Amari Cooper, Donovan Peoples-Jones, David Njoku, guys like that. Really strong offensive line. Myles Garrett, guys on defense as well. Denzel Ward, Greg Newsome. But I think the Niners still come out on top. The Niners are just playing really good ball. I think they remain undefeated. They're undefeated for a reason, and I think they come out on top against the Browns this week. They beat the Browns at home. The Browns are home. Sorry about that. Saints, Texans. Saints. I still feel like they still got a lid on them. They still got unlimited expectations. I think they could do way better than what they're doing right now. I know they just beat the Patriots 34-0, which is like Come on, man, you're crazy. You think they could do better? They just beat them 34-0. What are you talking about? But the offense is a little slow. The offense is a little stagnant at times. Derek hasn't looked his best. He's hasn't really had that connection with any of his offensive weapons so far. I know red zone has been a problem. Sometimes it's looked iffy for him. Sometimes they look great on offense. Sometimes they look mediocre at best. It could be his injury. It could be just getting used to the offense. I think those are the main key reasons why that offense is kind of stalled out at points in times during the season. But that defense is playing well. Defense is one of the best in the league. Their secondary, their group in their secondary is playing outstanding. I think the best secondary in the league this year so far. Shut down Alontae Taylor, Marshawn Lattimore, Paulson Adebo, Tyrann Mathieu, those kind of guys, man. Those guys are playing shutdown, lockdown ball, and really making it hard for opposing teams. C.J. Stroud is playing very well. He's exceeded my expectations of what would happen in his first year so far. He's playing very well. He's the best rookie quarterback in this class. I know Anthony Richardson has showed flash plays, and he's been very good as well. Bryce Young has been okay, but I think he's been the best quarterback prospect in this class by far. They're a team that's very dangerous. They have the talent to make the playoffs. They have the talent to make some noise, but I think they're just a couple years, maybe a year away from really getting that going because they still make those mistakes as a young team that cost them wins in games. So I think they're still a year away. D'Amico Ryan's doing a great job with that unit. Got a lot of talent on that team, but I think they end up losing this game to the Saints. The Saints go on and win this one and go on to be 4-2. Eagles, Jets. Eagles playing a very nice ball as well. They came up with a victory over the Rams. Rams playing very good ball as well. Playing very good ball. The Jets just won against the Broncos. Barn burner, really. Ugly kind of game. The defense played very well. Now the defense for the Jets is one of the top in the league. I know I said that about a couple teams, but it's the truth. The defense for the Jets, Robert Saleh's got those guys playing very well. Quincy Williams having a career year so far. He's having a great year, playing outstanding. Top 5 linebacker in the league, in my opinion. He's really played good ball. The defense is not the problem. It's kind of the quarterback situation. And it's not really Zach Wilson's fault. He's getting thrown into the fire. But I think he's had his moments where he's played very well. He's had his moments where he's played very bad. It's kind of a toss-up. He played well against the Chiefs. I know they didn't end up coming out with a victory. He played well against the Chiefs. I think he played well on last Sunday against the Broncos. He played very well. But he just has to do enough to win, limit the turnovers, but he has to really try to get his number one options involved. Tyler Conklin, Garrett Wilson, he's got to get those guys involved in the offense. They're very pivotal pieces in order for them to have success on offense, so he's got to get those guys involved. Breece Hall, I think if they can do that, they can pile up some wins and maybe be in the conversation for a playoff spot, even without Aaron Rodgers. That's how talented they are on offense and defense. The defense can hold the load for the offense. He just has to do enough just to, be enough to get those guys in the games and have the defense give them opportunities to win on that side of the ball. But I think the Eagles win this one. I think they're a little bit too much talented for these guys. I don't really see any scenario where the Jets come out on top in this game, but it's the NFL. You never know. These guys can do it. They could be the underdog and make an upset, but I think the Eagles come out on top. I think they remain undefeated along with the 49ers as the only 2 undefeated teams in the league. We're going to go Giants, Bills. Giants have really been a disappointment this season. I feel like they have a really good roster. They have a really good coach. But the results just haven't been able to accumulate onto the field. You know, they're not doing well. 1-4, really struggling. They got offensive pieces. They got better from last season, which they made the playoffs last season. I feel like they got better, a lot better. It was a big threat to, you know, the Eagles and the Cowboys, but just haven't been able to translate it onto the field and onto the win column. Really struggling. I haven't really watched any games. I haven't really watched any footage on why they're struggling. I think this is the offensive line. I know they got sacked a lot of times against that game against Seahawks. So, really struggling. The offensive line is. Daniel Jones is struggling. No Saquon. That's good. That's hurting them as well. I think the Bills come out on top. The Bills are playing very good ball. Getting to start rolling. Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen, those guys. I think Von Miller came back a couple weeks ago, so again, getting their guys back. I know Trayvon White, Tre'Davious White. What am Trayvon White? What am I talking about? Tre'Davious White. He's out with an injury, season-ending injury. But I think these guys are just a well-rounded team. They're going to take care of business at home. Very wild environment. One of the best crowds. One of the best fans in the whole entire sport. So it's going to be a rowdy environment. I think they're going to take care of business. They're going to beat their crosstown rivals. Not crosstown, but New York, and they're going to come out on top. Cowboys Chargers Monday night. This is going to be an interesting one. Cowboys just came off a bad loss against the 49ers, 42-10. Got spanked, got embarrassed on Sunday night. Really got embarrassed. Like that was a terrible performance. Couldn't get any worse than that. I think they're gonna have a bounce back week. Chargers coming off a bye. Got some rest. Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen. I think Austin Eckler's coming back as well. So it's gonna be a very exciting matchup to watch. Hopefully, looking forward to this game. But I think the Cowboys are going to come out on top. They're going to come back and bounce back from that loss against the 49ers. They're going to really have a chip on their shoulder. Michael Parsons is going to have an outstanding game. The defense is going to play a lot better. They're going to contain Justin Herbert, and they're going to do what they need to do in order to win this game. Dak Prescott's going to have a bounce back game. CeeDee Lamb's going to have a really good game, and the Cowboys are going to come out on top. Let's go to these games over here, the NFC-based games. Washington and the Falcons. Falcons played really well last week. Both of the teams that played that game, the Texans and the Falcons, they played very good ball. Both of them played. Those are two teams that are you would what word am I looking for? You would establish them as up and coming teams, rebuilding teams, but they look solid, man. They look solid when they clash together. Desmond Ridder had a bounce back game. I know he had a bad game against I think it was the Jaguars they played the week before. Had a bad week, bounced back, had over 300 yards, I think. Drake London, he got his guys involved. Drake London, Kyle Pitts, I think those guys are going to be the main focal points of them getting a dangerous offense going. He's got to get them the ball. He's got to go to those guys. Bijan Robinson, he has to get involved. Tyler Algier has to get involved as well. Washington had a very bad week against the Bears last week on Thursday night. They looked pretty bad, but they've been a very competitive team. They've given some teams some problems. The Eagles, they took them to overtime. Their defensive line is stacked. Ron Payne, Jonathan Allen, Chase Young, Montez Sweat, very stacked defensive line. Sam Howell's a young quarterback, second year. Still trying to figure it out, just like this guy over here, Desmond Ridder. They're trying to figure it out. They're trying to get something going for their teams. They're not bad quarterbacks, but they're not the best. They can do enough. They show flashes of being viable quarterbacks, starting quarterbacks in this league. So it's going to be really a toss-up, but I think I'm going to give this one to the Commanders. I think the Commanders are going to come back and bounce back, and Sam Howell's going to have a good game. Scary Terry's going to have a good game. They're going to bounce back and win this game. And then we got the Lions and the Bucks. Bucks at home. I don't know if Mike Evans is coming back to play this game. but he's a pivotal piece to this Bucks offense. Baker has shown that he's been his number one. He's been his main target when he does play. So getting him back is a very important piece for this Bucks offense. The Lions have really been rolling, man. The Lions look good. The Lions look dangerous. They look like a really good team. David Montgomery, I think he scored a touchdown in every single game this year. It's been 5 games. He's got like 7 touchdowns or something like that. So he scored in every single game. Laporta, a rookie tight end, looks very promising. He looks good. Amon-Ra, he's been injured, but Josh Reynolds, those guys like that have really been some key pieces for this offense. Jared Goff doesn't look as bad as well. He's doing enough. He's doing enough to win. Very underrated quarterback in my opinion in this league. A lot of people bash on him. A lot of people call him whatever you want to, but he's a baller. He's a winner, and he's the main force. He's the main reason why his team is 4-1. I'm gonna go Lions here. I think they win this game. They're gonna be 5-1. They're gonna be one of the teams that's serious in this league. A couple years ago we were looking at them as jokes. Last year I think they started off the season 1-5, and then they ended up stringing along like 8 wins in a row or something like that. It was something like that, something crazy. They just missed the playoffs. Dan Campbell has his guys rolling, and they're all behind him. Great coach, great leader, great mentor. This guy has them. This team balling out. The Lions are really becoming a force in this league, and a scary team to watch out for. And I have them winning this Sunday against the Bucks, and they move on to 5-1. Vikings and Bears. This one's tricky because the number one receiver for the Vikings, he might be out this week, and he might be out for a couple of weeks. I'm not sure. I saw a report that he might miss. I'm not sure if he's going to miss for sure. But Vikings, the defense started to buckle up a little bit against Mahomes. I think they played well enough to win that game. Kirk Cousins turned the ball over a little bit. He lost around halftime. He lost his number one receiver in Justin Jefferson. So it really affected him. It really affected that team, that offense. I think the Bears come out on top. I think they come out with this W. The Bears have kind of been rolling. Justin Fields is playing very, very good now. He started off struggling the season. The first couple weeks he struggled. I think until 2 weeks ago against the Broncos, he threw 4 touchdowns, I think. Played well. They lost the game, but he played well. Started to get his confidence back. I think that really affected last week against the Commanders on Thursday night. Excuse me. Threw 4 touchdowns again, and really played well. I think he's starting to get his confidence back. I think he's starting to get a little swagger back. So, that's the main thing in his game. He needs that. That's important for him to have success in this league. So I think he's starting to get that, and I think they're going to get this win. They're going to go up to 2-4. Last game is going to be Cardinals, Rams. This is the last one for me. Cardinals, Rams, divisional game. Those games are toss-ups. You never know with those games. Division games are very different than all the other games. You see these guys twice a year, and it's tough to judge these ones because these are really toss-ups. But I think, with the Rams getting Cooper Kupp back, Puka playing well, the offense is kind of rolling. Matthew Stafford is playing. He's got those guys competing in games. I thought maybe they'd be in a rebuilding. They have an okay roster, but most of the roster was built around that Super Bowl run that they had, which resulted in the Super Bowl. But I think they're kind of on the tail end of that, and Matthew Stafford getting older, close to retirement. Aaron Donald close to retirement as well. Cooper Kupp dealing with some injuries. We thought maybe it was time for them to pack it up and maybe send those guys off to another team and just try to rebuild, try to start fresh. But they're really shocking a couple people. You know, they were hanging in the game against the Niners. Um, you know, they had a chance to beat the Rams. Yeah, they were in that game as well, playing a very competitive ball. The surprising team in my opinion this year. Um, it really surprised me. Like I didn't think they would be competitive. Maybe I didn't think they'd be um, in the talks in the division of you know being considered playoff team, but you know they're playing very well, offense and defense. You know they're playing good ball. You know there's a couple things that they need to clean up, but you know they're playing good, and I think they come out with the W against the Cardinals. Cardinals are going to start slowing down. Um, Josh Dobbs and that team. You know it's just a very bad team. I think they're a couple years away. I think you know, they just need to start fresh. They need to get rid of Kyler. They need to just start fresh. Start a whole new regime. Jonathan Gannon, I think he's got him playing good ball. I think, you know, he's coaching very well, but, you know, just not enough talent in order to put the wins in the W column. But they'll be all right. He's going to be a good coach. I think they should maybe um, have plans for Caleb Williams, or, you know, try to just strengthen up their team if they're going to go behind Kyler. But I don't think they come out on top. I don't think they're going to be that good this year. The Rams winning that game. And this is what the calendar looks like for week 6. This is my predictions for week 6. I have the Chiefs, Ravens, Jags, Raiders, Dolphins, Bengals, Niners, Saints, Eagles, Bills, Cowboys, Commanders, Lions, Bears, and Rams all winning. Comment down below who you think is going to win. Who's your favorite team in the league? Let me know who you think is going to win the Super Bowl. Who do you think is the best team in the league right now? We're going to come back a week from now, and we're going to see how many we got right, and we're going to see what our record is for the week. I'm looking to go. How many games are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 games. I'm looking to go realistically. I want to go maybe 8 and 7. 8 and 7 we're shooting for. We can go 8 and 7. That's really good. But I don't know. We'll see. I hope you guys liked the video. I hope you guys found this interesting. This was fun to do. I think I'm gonna do these from now on. Let me know if you guys like these.